so I asked people what you wanted me to use for these knives that I'm making out of these things, and you put out of aluminum, micarta. I'm still gonna do aluminum and micarta. The aluminum's gonna look amazing. It doesn't look good right now, but it will. My hair's crazy. You picked G10 and Purple Heart, so I'm going to be doing Purple Heart. It's got amazing grain in there. I mean, not so much the grain, but the chatoyancy, the kind of tiger print through there. It's amazing. The G10's obviously just G10. I mean, black and gray G10. I'm gonna try to split this in half. If that doesn't work, then I will use another one of the, probably the micarta one. This one requires liners because you cannot rivet a spring or a back spring or any kind of lock or pivot into just wood. You have to have steel, which I don't want to do. But I'm gonna do it because you guys picked it and it is a beautiful wood. Tips are gone. Wow. Okay, so don't rip G10. We're gonna file that out right there. Right there. And then there's going to be a piece that fits in there. So that will flex on a rivet here, approximately, and a rivet here, approximately. So this part right here will flex up and down. So it gives it really good click, and there will be a little tiny groove on this side. Yeah, right there. And that's when it'll close. It'll click into that and keep it shut. I finally got new zirconia belts, and zirconia belts are simply the best. And these are 36 grit, so you can really tear through some material with 36 grit. Changing anyway. Oh, that's way better with a curve in the front. Ah, got it. So now it's fixed blade. Okay, now that it's very pretty looking, we're going to flip it over and do the other side. Same deal. Should be a lot quicker because the lines are already running parallel, which is going to save us a good bit of time. Alright, let's see what the buffer can do. This is what it looks like right now. Okay, remember that. That's what it looks like. Nice and pretty, perfectly fine the way it is. We're going to see if we can do a little bit more though. We're going to make the indent for the closed position on this big blade, and then we're going to heat treat both of them after I make sure everything works smoothly, of course. Yeah, there should be a point of contact. It's not going to be much. Let's see how far off we are. Okay, here we go. Click and push it in, and that looks perfect right there. So we're going to take this down a little bit here and along here to make it run smoother because it'll be less tension and make it easier to unlock because it's a little bit stiff right now, and I'm afraid when I lock it all up it's going to be very, very stiff. Alright, we're ready. 2 blades into the heat treat. Heat treat went way better than the Bowie knife I did. These look almost perfectly straight, and they are very, very hard. So that worked amazing. If I do that and heat up the back, this will soften. This stuff will never get hot down here, so it won't temper. But this way, it'll be very, very hard on the edge because it'll be heat treated hard, but this part will be soft. So it should be a very, very strong blade. We'll see. I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I'll just do the full tempering cycle and it won't hurt anything. But let's see. Now that one's done, now that one's tempered, I'm gonna work on this one that I already tempered, and we're gonna grind it and get everything nice and shiny again, and maybe draw back those bevel lines. We'll see. Each one of these pieces needs to be sanded a lot. This one needs the most because I have to actually shape it out and then do all the hand sanding and everything. This one, I'm going to leave the forge scale. I kind of like how that looks, like that. So I'm going to polish this part as best I can and leave the black part, partially also because there were some marks here that I did when I was forging it that really I'm not going to be able to cover them up at all. So I'm just going to leave it black and that'll cover them up very well. Connor's not, everything's not happy. Okay, he's happy now. So we're gonna work on this piece next. One small downside to working on 2 knives at once is it's even harder to decide what to work on next. It's hard enough with one knife. So I feel like I've been telling you
small scale
about this knife, like very minute details so you really know what's going on. But I haven't really given you like the broad spectrum picture yet.
So
I'd never do that now. Putting thoughts into small capsules is not something we as humans really do very often. That was kind of... This knife is the only knife that I have designed and made without direct inspiration. Okay? So like there wasn't a knife that was like, I'm gonna make that knife, and I made this one. There wasn't anything like that. I made a sketch, and then I made
this knife based off the sketch, but I changed it drastically so it's not even anything like the sketch. I think it is entirely unique. The lock, I'm pretty sure is unique too. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's just a slip joint lock, but one of the things about it, and I think that I could change this and make it even better, is because it's a ball at the end of the lock, I think you could have much less friction
in between
when you open it versus when it closes. It can still be a very stiff lock. I need to work on that. We can make a very interesting slip joint lock with the same theory.
See that? It's a little bit closer now. It's a nice smooth curve. I like how it looks. It still looks good. Because I have it already stuck together, I'm going to sand everything on the outside here. It's going to be fun sanding this steel. Right now I'm just sanding the liners, by the way. I don't know if that's going to make in the video, but anyway.
Now we're going to make a pocket clip, and the best thing to use for that is, of course, titanium. Looks like that piece right there will work.
I've never actually tried to do a deep carry pocket clip where you flip it over and drill through. I'm going to try it. Here, okay, be a slot right about there, so you can put the screws in. Okay, now I have a piece of titanium. It looks something like it could be a pocket clip eventually.
And a screw there. 2 holes here also.
Okay, I had some logistical problems, but now we have it all figured out. I'm going to drill a 2mm hole for an M2 because it's a clearance hole, so it's actually less than 2mm on the outside. Come on, a little bit of oil. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit tight. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, that's hard stuff. Now I'm going to take this piece of steel, I'm going to round it, well I'm going to square it off, I'm going to round over the end a little bit, and then I'm going to put the clip on there, and then I'm going to curve it over, and hopefully this will be enough space for a pocket. Oh, say, can't you see? The holes are not quite lined up, so my voice is probably still terrible that close to the camera, but anyway, I'm going to kind of curve that down so it looks like that instead of like that. You guys probably think I'm an idiot, because you could see what was happening there and I couldn't see what was happening. He was hitting the vise. No wonder it wasn't working right. Okay, that looks pretty close. So we're going to use this to shape the rest of this. I'm not really very much making this an interesting video, am I? It's just lame video. Lame. That ship has sailed. You think it'll work? Finish the line. You know it. We're going to see if the buffer can do anything now to take off the scale and the tempering colors, and then we'll temper it again to get those beautiful colors back in a more orderly fashion. I actually want to mill out a piece of the scale so it'll actually sink into the handle a little bit. I think that would look very nice like that. Never done it before, but that's never stopped me from trying things, usually, as long as no one's watching.
I hate that.
Okay, that's fairly tight fit.
some pretty wood. Look at that chatoyancy, isn't that something? This is after the whole video is done for this knife. But I totally forgot that I was making 2 knives before, and I did the outro and the closing montage like it was just this knife. So I'm going to be doing the other knife, this one over here, the G10 one. I'm still doing that. I'm gonna work on it right now, but this is closing montage and the exit or outro just for this knife. So be patient, the other video will come out, but this is just for this knife. Carry on. I'm gonna keep this short. If you like watching people make really cool knives, this is a really cool knife. I made it, so you should subscribe and like and comment. That was a little unenergetic, wasn't it? So if you like watching people make cool knives, this is a cool knife. I made it, so you should definitely think about subscribing at least. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one.